Welcome to a new episode of Ausfahrt.tv in English. I'm your host, Mr. Z. I'm here in Portugal today. It's sunny, it's windy, still I have a blast. Behind me is a racetrack of Portimao. It's close to Faro in Portugal, and it's a pretty new racetrack. Behind me on the track there's the Audi R8 LMS. So the sport version, but we are presenting you today the new generation of the Audi R8. In 2003, Audi introduced a concept car with the name Audi Le Mans Quattro. 1 year later, I, Robert, the movie with Will Smith, hit the movies, and in this movie the Audi RSQ concept car played a serious part. Both of those concept cars, they are the parents of the design of the car that we know under the name of R8. The name R8, however, was inherited by a famous Le Mans winner, a race car. Audi introduced the first production R8 in 2006. From 2006 to 2014, they sold around 27,000 units of this car, and by the way, 1/5 of those productions were sold in Germany. In Geneva at the auto show in 2015 they introduced the second product generation. That's the car we are showing you today. At least in Germany, Audi started taking orders for the new R8 in May already. The first deliveries are expected in autumn this year. The strongest version, the basis price of the strongest version is around about 187,400 euros, while the less powerful model starts at 165,000 euros. The Audi R8 is produced in a little factory, in a little manufacture in Heilbronn in Germany. There are quite a few competitors. I'm just naming two, the Porsche 911 Turbo and the Nissan GT-R. Audi is offering the new R8 as an e-tron version with two electric engines, and they have a power of 340 kilowatt. Then we have the Club Sport version, the Audi R8 LMS. This car has around about 585 horsepower. And then for the entry we have the engine with 510 horsepower. But we weren't if we hadn't asked Audi kindly, of course, please give us the strongest version, and here we are. I have to lean in here to open the hood of the engine. Under the hood, right here, of our 2015 Audi R8 V10 Plus, we find this beautiful 5.2 liter V10. It has 610 horses and is good for a maximum torque of 560 Newton meters, and you get them starting at 6,500 RPM. Well, the carbon cover you just saw at the engine is an extra. In Germany it costs 3,400 euros extra. You always shift with a 7-speed S-tronic, and Audi re-engineered the Quattro, the all-wheel drive powertrain, and now you can, or the car chooses according to your driving, if you want to have up to 100% of the power or the torque in the front or in the rear. Let me give you the basic facts of the new Audi R8 V10 Plus. It accelerates, or rather it explodes from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour or 62 miles per hour in just 3.2 seconds. And if you stay with your foot on the throttle, you are at the 200 kilometers per hour or 124 miles per hour marker in just 9.9 seconds. Top speed is reached at 330 kilometers per hour or 205 miles per hour. I say wow. The gas tank of the 2015 Audi R8 V10 Plus is good for 73 liters. As an option, you get another tank with 83 liters, by the way. 73 liters equals 19.3 gallons. Audi claims a fuel consumption of 12.3 liters on 100 kilometers or 19.1 miles per gallon, which means that under perfect conditions you can drive up to 590 kilometers or 360 miles without getting gas. The Audi R8 has a length of 4.43 meters, which equals 174 inches, with a wheelbase of 2.65 meters equals 104 inches. It is 1 meter and 24 centimeters high or 49 inches, and it is 1.94 meters wide, which equals 76 inches. As of the turn radius, you need at least 11.2 meters of free space, so 441 inches. The curb weight is 1,555 kilograms or 3,428 pounds. The admissible total weight is 1,895 kilograms, which equals 4,178 pounds. The Audi space frame, so the raw body of the R8, just weighs 200 kilograms. So that's pretty light, and it's due to a lot of alloy and carbon fiber. So, looking at the front of the R8, not too much changed. We have the single frame grille that has now that comes with this honey mesh inside, has another structure. It's a little bit more three-dimensional, of course, and they sharpened the front, of course. By the way, the front splitter is out of carbon fiber, and that's factory setting, by the way. You now get by factory setting as well the full LED headlights, and as an option the full LED headlights come with laser high beams. Alright, and by the way, included is this turning lights that shows the direction where you want to go. You are ready to order the new Audi R8 already? Well, you have the choice between 19 different colors. Our blue is called Ara Blue, and it has a crystal effect, so it's a little bit shiny, shiny, blink, blink. By factory settings, the new Audi R8 V10 Plus stands on 19-inch alloys, but we have the optional 20-inch alloys. By the way, the size of the tires in the front 245, in the back 305. Behind those beautiful, well, that's marketing, behind those alloys we find a carbon ceramic brake, and that comes by factory settings with a V10 Plus as well. And if you look at the side, you might recognize, in comparison to the previous model, this blade at the side is now splitted into two parts, and you can order all kind of different colors or alloy styles, and we have the carbon fiber inlays here. Well, looking at the back, I think the changes are more significant than at the front. First of all, you cannot oversee it. That is the spoiler, and it's made out of carbon fiber, comes as the with the factory settings, while the version without the Plus has a little spoiler that comes out automatically, but this is just stable and always here. On the sides of the rear window we find now aero blades as well, which are supposed to be very good for the aerodynamics. So is a big diffuser in carbon fiber or out of carbon fiber as well, with 6 big fins that are supposed to support the pressure for the car so it stays on the road. We have a new light signature at the rear lights. They have full LED techniques and as well, and they have this dynamic turning indicator as well. And last but not least, the exhaust pipes on both sides are not round shaped anymore, but they are more like a rectangle. I'm such a high professional car expert. I'm telling you, really. So we stepped out the airport in Faro and we got to our car and I was like, all right, take you for a ride, baby. And then I was standing there for maybe a minute and I was thinking, well, how do I open the door? Well, okay, the handle is down here, I learned. And I found out by myself, so I am an expert. Okay, the door is pretty big, opens in an angle of around about 75 to 80 degree, and we have frameless windows, which I like. So I'm stepping over this carbon fiber inlay here with a R8 badge, and of course it's a sporty car, so daddy has to go down, but it looked a little bit strange. I got into the car more smooth. Well, let me just do this. I'm Slick Rick overall. So my car, just jumping in. Yeah, baby. And I have to lean out just a little bit to close the door. Earlier this morning, I was talking to a colleague, and we were talking. Well, how do you what do you think about the new R8 and so on and so on? And he said something that really got it for me. He said, well, this car is nothing for purist drivers because it's just too nice, too luxury. You know, it's it's not like a race car you sit in and all you have is the engine and the steering wheel. It's a real nice interior. You have leather just everywhere, and the only thing that is disturbing the leather feeling are the carbon fiber inlays. So you know what I mean? It's just sheer beautiful. On the ceiling we got Alcantara, and you have the choice once you configure an R8. I think you have even more options for the interior, color-wise and material-wise, than you have for the outside, for the exterior. Excuse me. Besides, I have plenty of space. To the front, it even feels spacious with this really big dashboard and leather, leather everywhere. In the doors, just leather. And to the side, even so, the center is not really big, it's maximum 20 centimeters. I still feel that I have my own freedom area here while the passenger has his part. And no, it does not feel tight in here at all. Talking about using the car, you have almost everything that you need as a driver around the steering wheel, except the climate control and the MMI control panel here. But everything else you can do without, even putting one hand from the steering wheel. All right. So our regular routine. This seat belts are long enough, I think, for almost everyone to buckle up safe. With the seats, you have the option between race seats that are really, rather for race drivers, and those R8 sport seats that we have in our car. You can adjust them electrically in any direction you want to. So front, you can scoot around. Well, the normal stuff. I really don't have to tell you. Besides, you have an electric lumbar support, and you can adjust the side support in the backrest as well as on the cushion. And you can even make the seat a little bit longer, so for people with longer legs, that is pretty handy and comfortable. Besides that, you can heat them up in three intensities. And we've driven around 2 hours yesterday straight on curvy country roads, and I can tell you those seats are not only comfortable, but they're perfect for sporty driving on curvy country roads through the hills. All right. Well, yeah, I had a little bit of fun yesterday, just a little bit. The steering wheel is adjustable manually, and I really like how much it comes out. So I had no problems finding a good sitting position. I'm 180 centimeters tall, so 5'11". Toby, my mate, he is 6'5", so 195 centimeters, and even he can sit in here. Well, at least all right. So, but for smaller people, it's most probably a good car. However, this steering wheel is coated with leather, perforated leather on the sides where you have your grip. We have shifting pedals, of course. I'm a little bit disappointed, to be honest, that they're not made of alloy. They feel like plastic on the back, and they could come out a little bit more for my taste, because I can reach them only with my fingertips, but maybe those are my little tiny hands. On the steering wheel, we have on the left side all the control for the virtual cockpit. On the right side, control for the infotainment system. And down here we have 4 new buttons. First of one is the drive select button to choose which driving program you want to use in this car. Below that we have a race button. So once you put the car into race mode, all the assist systems work less. And then on the right side in red, the start and stop button, as well as a tiny button for the exhaust system where you can choose between normal and sport. And I like this because it's really on the steering wheel. We were driving through the hills here yesterday, and so between the villages I always put the exhaust system in sport, because damn, it really sounds awesome. But going through the villages, I put it in normal, so I'm not disturbing all the people who live there. I think that's just fair. It has a flat side on the bottom, and here we have an R8 badge as well. Looking in the mirrors, I have to say they're pretty small actually, but you see enough, I know, from yesterday driving through the hills. And you even see on the side the carbon fiber of the cover, which is kind of neat if you like carbon fiber. Looking in the inner mirror, you see almost the whole rear window, but that's pretty small already, and part of it you see the carbon fiber spoiler in the back. So I was mainly just looking in both of the outer mirrors, and it's neat anyway because you see the sexy ass of the R8 this way. Well, by the way, we do have a rear camera in here as an option. You can order the rear camera. It has a good picture, and you get a good view. But it's just a rear camera, so no bird view or anything else. Turning my head around, my view stops at the blade on the side, of course. But together with the rear mirror, I don't really have a blind spot, I think. It's quite different on the other side, because here I do have the B pillar, which is ending at the engine sort of, and I don't see anything up there, so I have a rather big blind spot. Yes, in combination with the mirror, I don't really miss anything. Still, you gotta be perfect if you switch lanes, I guess. Well, you always have to be careful if you switch lanes, of course. Alright, then we are here with the virtual cockpit that we already know from all the other cars like the Audi TT or the Q7, for instance. It's a 12.3-inch display, and we have 2 views, so we can choose between either everything else big in the background and 2 small round gauges, or 1 big round gauge and the other stuff on the side. Here in my configuration right now, I have the map behind the car. I have the map in the background, the navigation system with the Google Earth data, which is kind of neat if you have enough reach with your mobile connect. However, then we have the RPM meter on the left side and the speedometer on the right side, where the speedometer has a needle but actually nothing at the scale. All you see is the digital speed inside. Switching the mode to this power mode, you have a big RPM meter, well, going up to 10,000 RPM with a rate range starting at 8,500 in our configuration. Here for the virtual display right now, or cockpit, we have on the left side the navigation system with a Google Earth data, and on the right side G-force meter. However you have it, you have the temperature and the time in a line below, and up you have the reach of the fuel, how much more kilometers you can get with your fuel. On the very left we have another gauge with little LEDs for the temperature of the engine, and on the very right side as well with a little LEDs how much more fuel we have in the tank. I'm very, very, very sorry. I cannot tell you if we have ambient light. I didn't check yesterday. We even had the car during nighttime, but I cannot recall because I was driving and I was focusing on the street. We do have the Bang & Olufsen premium sound system as an option in our car, and the speaker in the door panel has a little LED light, at least in white. Yeah, there's no sunroof and there won't be a sunroof. Obviously, there will be a Spider version coming soon, I guess. And we do have the horn, which is in the center of the car. And it sounds like that. Okay, as usual, and we treat every car the same. We go and see how much compartments we have in here and where you can store your stuff if you want to take the R8 as a daily driver, which is actually possible, I think. But, however, I will start. In the door panels, we have enough space in this compartment for this half a liter bottle or a wallet and your phone and whatever. Then we start here. We have a little slider, and if I slide it open, I can pull my iPhone out because here's the optional phone box. Once you put your phone in here, the signal gets an amplification, so you get a better signal quality. We have two USB ports in here as well as a line in or aux in, and even a 12-volt outlet. The surface is in anti-slip, so some rubber, and next to the phone box there's another little compartment, so maybe for coins or keys. And again, for the slider I can just close it and it looks neatly. Here in front of the volume control is a little slot which is just made for the key. I have it in my pocket, I won't pull it out now, but it suits in here pretty well, and when you really drive sporty it's not scooting around, so that's neat. Then we have here a little button on both sides which opens the cup holders. Yes, we have cup holders, but they come without spacers. So this bottle, half a liter, is pretty much shaking around. I think you can probably store up to 1 liter bottles in here. But if you have a liter bottle, it might disturb you a little bit while driving. I'm just saying it. Then we have a gloves compartment, and I was actually pretty surprised when I opened it. I was like, oh, there's no space at all, but no, I was wrong because it's just pretty dark in there, and all this stuff fits into the gloves compartment. And here, by the way, you can disable the airbag on the side, so in case you want to give your child a ride with a child seat, we even have Isofix hooks on the passenger seat. That is pretty much it. I'm just going further. We have little blades here, so sun shields. Both have makeup mirrors, but they are not illuminated, and the mirrors itself is pretty small, by the way. We have a reading light for the driver and the passenger, and all I have to do is touch it slightly to illuminate it or turn it off, kind of like this. Behind the seats, there's actually the first part of the trunk. We have 224 or 26 liters of space here, so around about 8 cubic feet. And you can really store stuff in here. Besides that, there's a net on the back and hooks for a jacket as well. And down here we have a part of the infotainment system with 2 SD cards slots and a SIM card slot and a DVD slot. And yes, by the way, the MMI as well as the virtual cockpit, they come by factory setting with the Audi R8. In addition to the space behind the seats, we even have a trunk. Engine in the back, so the trunk is in the front, of course. You can open the trunk by a switch here in the driver's door, or you just use the key. By the way, the key looks like a regular Audi key, we all know, except it has an R8 badge on the back. So, open please. I like how the whole hood opens, even with the side, looks kind of neat. So you have space for 112 liters or 5 cubic feet. And that's not much, but an IATA carry-on luggage piece suits in here pretty well. We have 2 nets on the side, so you can put even smaller stuff in here, and 1 little compartment in the middle as well. There's a little light, an LED light to illuminate the trunk, and even a 12-volt outlet, so you might want to put a cooler in here. You can open or lift the floor of the trunk, and here we find the first aid kit and the warning triangle. And that's already it from the trunk. I just measured everything for you, and I'm sorry, I'm using the metric system. So if you want to put something inside the trunk, it should not be higher than 40 centimeters, and the widest area is around 55 centimeters, and in this part you have around 30 centimeters. If you want to put something in the R8, then you have to lift it 70 centimeters up, and it goes 50 centimeters down again. You can load up to 440 kilograms or 970 pounds in the Audi R8 V10 Plus. You're not allowed to put anything on the roof, and seriously, you can't pull a trailer. Welcome my friends, welcome inside, me on the steering wheel talking to you in the camera. Hello guys. So first of all, down here at the steering wheel we have the drive select button, and I can choose between comfort, auto, dynamic and individual. So once I put the car in individual, I can adjust the individual setting, and here I can see it is all about engine and the transmission. Then the damper system, we have a dynamic damper system in here. We have the optional dynamic steering. This is affected as well as a quattro all-wheel drive powertrain and the sound itself. So you can adjust all this to your needs, or you just choose one of the regular programs like comfort, auto, dynamic and individual. And I'm going in comfort first so I can talk a little bit to you. I'm very pleased about the adaptive damper system, because once you put it in comfort, you really have a comfortable ride. Yes, it is still a sports car and you feel it still, but it really observes a lot of the things on the street, like bumpers and all that. If you put it in dynamic, you feel that the whole suspension is getting much stiffer and the car is more to the ground. It's not going down, but it really feels like it's glued on the ground. It's much stiffer, as I said. And so I think it's a really neat mix, because if you want to just, go long distance and have your speed limit, you just put the car in comfort and have a comfortable ride. While if you want to go on your favorite country road, you just go there and let it go, And if I say let it go, I mean it. The steering is just sheer awesome. Already in comfort mode, it's very direct, gives you perfect feedback, and it is really easy to steer in the curves, while you do your cornering. You get so much support from the steering, it's sheer amazing. The wonderful thing about it is, once you put it in sport, it gets even more direct. It's just, I like it. The steering is just perfect, but keep in mind it's a dynamic steering, so you have to pay extra for this. Talking about the sound, right now we're driving in comfort, everything is cool. I have a button down here where I can activate the sport exit system. So, hold on. This is standard. Or doesn't sound too bad. And this is sport. I think you hear the difference for sure. However, to really give you an idea how much fun the exhaust system alone is, here's a little sound clip for you. We do have by factory settings already the carbon ceramic brake system in here, and really it gives you all the security that you need to encounter the curves with high speed, because you know if you put your foot on the brake, it stops the car sort of. It really, those brakes work awesome, and I had so much fun yesterday in the hills here on the curvy roads, just bang to the curve and then on the brake just for a second and then again on the throttle. It's just pure driving fun. Seriously, it is really awesome. Well, okay, the engine itself, if you drive in comfort, it's cool and you get all the power. We have 610 horses right behind us. So if you put the car in dynamic mode, and see, you can push the throttle just accelerating like this, or you really press it to the ground. And that's how it goes. Acceleration 0 to 100 kilometers per hour or 62 miles per hour in 3.2 seconds. And you really feel it. That's so awesome. Yesterday on the highway we had this little game. I was accelerating and then pushing the brake real hard, and while the car was slowing down I started accelerating again. So it's a little bit like a roller coaster, and that's how your stomach feels as well. It's just awesome and just plain fun, seriously. Yeah, so all in all, it's just the perfect car, really. I think you might say, well, I'm a purist, it's just too much luxury for me. Well, okay, then buy another car. That's fine for you. If you really want some good German product where nothing is, making funny noises that's not supposed to do, yeah, feel free. But this car is it's perfect. Maybe it's a little bit too perfect. I will allow this, a little bit too perfect. But all in all, it's just pure fun. By the way, do we have assist systems in here? Not really. No lane keeping assist, no adaptive cruise control, no nothing. Well, but I didn't miss it either, to be honest. Not even a blind spot warner in here. I don't know why, but that's the way it is. We do have the MMI in here. That comes by factory setting, and then we have the Bang & Olufsen premium sound system as an option. And you can for sure use it, and it makes really a nice sound. But then again, you probably don't use it very much because you don't want to miss the sound of the engine. Seriously. All right, my friends, all right, it's time to sum it all up. What do you think about this car? What do I think about this car? Did I have fun driving it? Well, I say yes, hell yes, both thumbs up. This is really pure driving pleasure. This car is built for people like me who can't drive but are willing to drive fast. You know, it really does a lot for you, and it helps and protects you. And if you are a good driver, well, actually, I don't think there are many good drivers. If you think you're a good driver, you can disable a whole bunch of the systems and see how it wins in the ditch. No, I'm just kidding. This car really is so much fun driving. If you have a chance, please try it out. And if you tried, let me know if you think I'm a liar. Comfort, you know. Due to the adaptive suspension, the adaptive damper system, once you drive it in comfort, this is indeed a comfortable ride. You won't believe me until you try it out yourself, but it is. And once you put the button again to put it in dynamic, it is a real sports car. And I think Audi really managed to make a perfect balance between comfort on one hand and dynamic/sport on the other hand. Usage as a daily driver. Oh, well, you know, who needs a trunk? Really? I mean, well, you do have a trunk, at least for one piece of carry-on luggage, and you can put another piece of carry-on luggage behind the seats. So if you don't need a bunch of clothes for a weekend trip, you'll be fine with this car as well. Doing your groceries, oh well, you know, take the other car. However, what else is missing? Efficiency, fuel efficiency, I have no idea. I was driving, I'm sorry. Now, we really have to take this car for at least 2 weeks to give you a real number. So, Audi, we needed another 2 weeks, please. Seriously, I think if you drive it sporty, you will end up with 20 liters on 100 kilometers. Or if you take it a little bit slower, you might even get to 15 liters. I mean, Audi says at least 13.1 liters. Well, you know, so I think 20 liters, if you like to drive sporty, is more realistic. Yeah, so summing it all up, for me, this car gets 2 thumbs up. And believe me, I had really fun. Really, really fun. And thanks, Portugal. It's a beautiful country with beautiful streets, beautiful people, and a beautiful sun here. It's different from the one from Germany. Okay, if you have any question to this review, please let us know in the comments. If you think my English sucks and I'm a dork, let us know in the comments. If you have any additional information for us, let us know in the comments, and we're trying to answer whatever you write. And if you by chance liked this review, I don't think you did, but if you did, we would appreciate a thumb up, a like below the clip, because that motivates us. And if you really want to help us out, please share this clip in the social networks like Facebook, Twitter, Google+, or put it in your personal playlist on YouTube. And yeah, well, if you do, thanks for your support, dude and dudess. It's time for me to close it up. I have 1 month of nothing. We will roll up some older clips. So I'm saying goodbye. I'm Mr. Z, your host. Tune in next time, please, when it's again Ausfahrt.tv in what I call English. Bye-bye. By the way, the basis price for the R8 V10 comes with a factory setting as well, and the newest part is the single blade. No, muss ich nochmal machen. Jo, bitte.